This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting, proudly sponsored by Empire Fights, joined by Overtflow today by the Fish Tank.
Yeah, by the $100,000 fish tank. I'm out here in LA. I'm actually at my stepdad's house. Don't want to show too much, but it's very nice. Little tour owned by a very famous guy, very famous rapper, and now it's my stepdad. So I'm here having a little vacation, little Christmas family getaway for a little bit, and just came off of that chess boxing match. It was absolutely insane. I'm super excited to be on my favorite channel on YouTube, Fred Talks Fighting. I'm excited, bro.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. I love to know that it is your favorite. But that your stepdad is doing quite well for that house, isn't he? I mean, that house is mad.
Yeah, it's actually insane. It's always it's a treat when I get to come out here to it. And I went out there. I had this nice chess boxing match. He loves chess and boxing, so he said, "You know what? Come on over. Let's talk about the
That's fair enough then. So talking about this chess boxing match, it kind of got sprung out kind of mid-air almost. How there's not obviously in the arena there's a lot of seats sold, a lot of fans in attendance, but there wasn't much promotion. There wasn't like a public workout or a press conference. Why wasn't there one?
I don't think that there was a public workout, but there was a press conference, not in the traditional fighting sense, but I think that they did interviews and such. But I actually missed that. But I think the angle here was a little bit less about the fighting and a little bit more about the entertainment value, right? So I think that whole event was extremely entertaining, but they didn't approach it like a regular fighting event.
Right, okay. I understand. Obviously, you're playing chess. So how does it work, chess boxing? So I have no clue whatsoever.
Okay. I don't think anybody had a clue unless you were already involved in the scene, but I had never heard of this at all. Apparently, this is very popular in like India, France, Europe. So I had never heard of this, but basically the way it goes is you get 2 minutes of chess followed by 2 minutes of boxing, and that counts as one round. So you do chess first, they lower a table into the middle of the ring, you play chess, and then immediately after you're done with that time, you get into your boxing gloves and your headgear or whatever you need, and you box for a couple minutes, and that counts as one round, and you do 3 rounds of that. So it's very interesting. And you can win by checkmate or by KO.
Okay. Obviously, you can win by checkmate. So do you start off with the boxing or do you start off with the chess? And a boxing round is 3 minutes. And how long is a round in chess?
No, the overall time is it's actually, I think I said 2 minutes. It's actually 2 minutes of chess and then 90 seconds of boxing for this event. So it's 3.5 minutes total in each round.
Oh, okay. And then you go back to your corner. And so when you went back to your corner, did they give you any advice for chess or was it just for the boxing?
I hate to brag. They're actually not allowed to give you chess advice, but I personally am a chess grandmaster. Well, I played in chess club when I was like 8 for like a year. So I actually really like chess. I actually play a lot of chess. And because I'm black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we always compare Jiu-Jitsu to like chess, but with your body, because there's a lot of like different moves in there that could be seen as similar. So I actually love chess a lot.
Okay. And did you struggle more with the boxing or the chess, would you say?
To be honest, did you watch my match?
Yes. I've seen all of it.
So massive respect to Chris Abroad, absolute warrior, samurai spirit. I love it. Actually a great guy. I'm going to go to Japan. And when I go to Japan this year, I'm going to visit him. He's going to take me on a tour. Absolutely amazing. But I dominated the boxing and the chess game. I actually lost due to a timer, and upon rewatching, I actually lost due to a timer error. The chess ref didn't start the timer for him for about 30 seconds, and I only lost on 10 seconds of time or 11 seconds of time. So technically, I actually won everything. But in the actual match, he got the win and he got the belt. And he said that he's retiring from fighting, and he's retiring as a champion, and I couldn't be happier for him.
He's retiring as a champion. But obviously, you just got the Misfits card now back in the chess boxing scene. Actually, no. Let's talk about chess boxing for just a minute. Myth versus Churdlers. Let's talk about the boxing part of it. I guess the chess part of it, neither of them knew how to play chess, which I don't blame. Yeah. I don't even know how to play chess myself either. But for the boxing part of it, what did you make of that?
Man, I got to say a couple of things. So obviously we're going to talk about Myth, but I think that Churdlers came out and Churdlers put on a pretty good show. I actually thought he was losing at first, and then he turned it around and really brought it back to Myth. And I was happy for him to be able to show a little bit of what he has compared to the Jay Swingler fight. But talking about Myth came out there and looked naturally gifted, naturally lifted in the ring after only 6 weeks of training. He looked like he knew how to box, bro, and he did great. And I think we got another face in the influencer scene. Maybe he's going to be on Misfits card. I seen Mams Taylor tweeting at him today. I would love it. And you know what? Actually, me and Myth were really the only gamer guys there. So, like, we didn't really know anybody. We were kind of the odd people out at that event because me and Myth are from the gaming community. So we actually kind of knew each other. It was good to see a familiar face. And I'm excited to see him on a Misfits event.
Certainly. That sounds pretty exciting. I was quite impressed by Myth. The fact that he told me now he has 6 weeks of training, that is very impressive, actually. Obviously, Churlis improved as well. I know Churlis was back in the gym a little bit as well. But when do you think we're going to see Myth box next then? I know Churlis will carry on boxing, but Myth's the new person we hadn't seen box before.
Right.
So we'll talk about him. When do you think we're going to see him on a Misfits card?
Man, I think that you could see Myth as soon as I don't know if January 14th is all filled up or for the next January Misfits card. But the way that Myth was acting, it seemed like he wants to get back in there like quick. Because he's before the fight, I told him, I'm like, man, you're competitive. You're you're doing build battles in Fortnite. Now you're gonna be doing battles in the ring. And I think that because of that competitive drive that you have with Fortnite, you're gonna love the boxing thing. And he was like, ooh, I don't know. I guess I'll have to see. And as soon as he came out of the ring, we were in the locker room together. And he was just like fired up, bro. Man popped a chug jug. He was all ready to get back in there already. So I'm excited. I think that you could see him literally within the next few months.
Well, so I searched Myth up now. He's only 23 years old. That's so young. I thought he was older.
I actually didn't realize he was that young. I thought he was like maybe in his like late 20s.
No, yeah, 23 years old, born in 1999. Wow,
he's young. I didn't realize he was that young, and he's absolutely balling out of his mind. I feel like a little bit of failure.
Same. I'm 18. That's still feel like, oh wow.
You got years, bro. You got years. You got it.
I got 5 years.
You got time, buddy. You're crushing it.
So for Myth, who we see him fight, and what weight was he at?
You know what? Okay, so so the way I got the fight is iDubbbz called me, and he called me and asked me if I would be interested in doing it, and then Ludwig reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in doing it, so I said yes. And right after I accepted the fight, I seen that Myth's opponent actually dropped out, so I tried actually to fight Myth instead. But he had already, I guess I had already agreed to the Chris fight. And then, he had already found the opponent in Shirley's. I even said that I would fight Chris and then I would fight Myth afterwards just to be the 2v1 KSI guy. You know what I mean? I was trying to follow the footsteps of my guy, JJ. But they turned me down and just gave me the Chris fight and then gave Shirley's to Myth. But as far as like who I think that Myth could fight next, as far as I'm concerned, man, it needs to be a storyline thing. I think that Myth should be fighting somebody from the same community for the entertainment value. The better the storyline, the more eyeballs on it, right? Why not Myth versus somebody like Tfue? They're built very similar. They're probably about the same weight. I know that Myth came in at 180. I came in at 184, so me and him could have done it. But I think that Myth and guys like that should be fighting people from the same community, get the most amount of eyeballs and the biggest audience,
Okay, but do you think Tfue will box?
I think that Tfue's open to it. I think that if you gave him the right number and if you gave him the right opponent, he would be down because you could already see that he's athletic. He likes the gym. Even at the Face House, when we were at the Face House, he's like jumping off of bridges into the water. Like he's an insane maniac. Of course he would box if he was incentivized the right way.
Myth versus Tfue would be huge. Like obviously overall internet and crossover boxing scene. How much do you think they'll have to offer Tfue? It have to be a lot, wouldn't it?
We're looking at big checks here. We're looking at 7-figure checks, probably.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But that Tfue fight, Myth versus Tfue, that's big. That's huge. Isn't
it? If this ever happens, I have to fight on it because come on, guys, I'm giving ideas here. I want to be on the undercard.
Yeah, blimey, yeah, you should do for that recommendation there. Let's talk a bit about yourself though. Do you think we're gonna see you on a Misfits card before the summer?
Yeah, I believe that you'll definitely see me. I really plan on fighting a handful of times next year, and I will actually have boxing training now because I'm boxing now 5 days a week. I'm always the guy that they call on late notice. Everybody else gets 3 months of boxing time for a boxing camp. I've never even had a camp. You know what I mean? I had like half a camp for the Sensei fight, and that's the last time I had a boxing camp. So I want to be serious about the boxing, and pretty much everything I got now is literally just my stuff from jiu-jitsu, right? My body movement and awareness, and I have a decent jab and a decent, lead hook just because I do that to do takedowns. So with the actual boxing camp, I think I clean up a lot of people. I think I make entertaining fights, and that's the biggest thing to me, is to be entertaining. And so once I get a little bit more boxing training, I want to be back in the ring for sure. I want to be on a Misfits card. I want to be on a Mayweather card. I want to be on every event possible next year because I'm having so much. I think I'm a little addicted, man. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Win or lose, it's so much fun.
Boxing's a very addictive sport. So when I heard that Myth was fighting, and I seen he won especially, I knew he'd box again. I mean, if you lose, you're going to box again. If you win, you're going to box again. It's just so addicting. It's why it's very, very rare in crossover boxing. I think Joe Weller is an exception where you see one person have a fight, you know they're going to fight again. I mean, there's no one who's really kind of stopped boxing in crossover boxing. Everyone's kind of continued. I think Joe Weller's the only one who's had one fight, kind of left it. He's the only one that springs to mind. But who would you fight, though, you reckon?
Okay, so I don't know if you saw my post-fight interview, but I actually called out a few people, and I'm going to give you a little list of names of people that I would be interested in. So the guy that I fought, Chris Broad, is really good friends with PewDiePie, and we know that PewDiePie is in pretty good shape. He's definitely been very athletic, and if he wants to do chess boxing, if he wants to get in there, because I think that's right up PewDiePie's alley, I would definitely do a chess boxing match against PewDiePie, so PewDiePie has a chance to avenge his friend. I think that's funny. Also, I want to fight FaZe Temper and FaZe Sensei in the same night, but in submission grappling. So I went over into their sport of boxing. I want them to come over here, and whoever gets choked unconscious first loses, and I will fight them both in the same night. And after KSI gives some of these bad boys to Dylan Dennis, I would like to fight Dylan Dennis in a jiu-jitsu match. Once again, whoever gets choked unconscious first is the loser. I would love that. As far as actual YouTube boxing, I'm super interested in more of this, like, the gaming community guys, some of the FaZe guys. I know that there's some of the FaZe guys that are getting more into it. Maybe we got a FaZe K possibly getting in the mix right there with his brother Jarvis. You know what I mean? So we see FaZe K. I would love for me and Frazier to go in there and have a nice boxing bout together. FaZe Swag, if he wants to drop in, you know what I'm saying? And drop a nuke on me, that'd be amazing. But I think there's a handful of good guys. A big guy that I'm actually very serious about. I actually haven't tweeted this. I'm going to put up the tweet this weekend, but I don't even know if I've told you this. I was actually supposed to fight on the Mayweather Deji card. Did I tell you?
Saying, yeah, Floyd Mayweather's security guard.
Right. I was supposed to fight Floyd Mayweather's personal bodyguard, Jizzy Mac. And so he's somebody that I'm definitely looking at this year. We have a lot of opportunity for that. So it looks like I'm going to be doing that on a Mayweather event. So there's a list of a few guys that I would love to get in there with. And I would really love to do some boxing events and then get some submission grappling in there, some jiu-jitsu to bring that to life because it's so much fun to watch. Maybe me versus Bradley Martin in jiu-jitsu. Like, maybe we could even put that on one of these boxing events. We could do like a little grappling match in between some of the main events or something. And me versus Bradley Martin is huge because he's a white belt, one stripe in jiu-jitsu. I'm a black belt, but he's got over 100 pounds weight advantage on me, and he's obviously a bull. You know what I mean? He probably tosses me on my head a few times before I do. I just spit all over my camera because I was getting so excited. Sorry. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of entertaining options for me.
Certainly there is. That's why I like to get you on because you always bring the entertainment and excitement. But I'm coming to Vegas in January, so not a long way. So I guess I'll go and see you if you're around.
Yes, please do.
The first week, second. I think I leave on the second, and I'm back just before KSI's fight, before his 5-week start. So I definitely I'll come to Vegas and we'll do an interview there. But I do appreciate you coming on. I'm sure you'll probably help a lot of people in this interview cleaning up the sport of chess boxing. A lot of people will be in my brainwave of not having a clue what's going on. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people out, but I do appreciate your time. But you got anything else coming up for yourself in the next few weeks, you reckon?
I got a few things planned. I don't think that I can say anything just yet. There's a few like pretty big things actually in the works, and some of them are like bigger than anything I've ever done. So I'm kind of got my fingers crossed on those. But in the meantime, just gonna hang out, celebrate Christmas, do all that stuff. And for sure, when you're in Vegas, man, come by. I'll be in London for the JJ fight. And I'm super excited. I saw you ask questions on Twitter too. If you had any questions from Twitter that you wanted to ask or anything like that, I'm here. So yeah, I appreciate you having me for the interview. So whatever you need, you tell me, I'm here for you.
Awesome, that's great. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.